Hi, welcome back to How to Fertilize Your Budget. Today I'm going to show you a recipe. It is fried cabbage with chorizo, I believe is how you pronounce it, sausage. I'm going to show you the package just to make sure because I may not be pronouncing that correctly. It is a quick and easy meal to make. It does make a lot and it is fairly cheap because you're basically using cabbage, chorizo sausage, and rice with some seasonings in it. Now, I use chicken broth that we have made ourselves. You may prefer to buy canned chicken broth, but I try to save it. I make a lot of boiled chicken, and so I try to save the broth and use it in my recipes instead of wasting it. So, what you have here is the finished bowl. I'm going to show you when I made it and talk about what I did and how I put it together. So I'm starting out by chopping some. Now I use scallions or green onions. I don't use yellow onions or white onions. You may prefer those, but I'd rather have the green onions. I just chop them up and add them to a pan that I already have butter in, and this is my chorizo sausage here. So you can see it's chorizo seasoned turkey sausage. I put a little garlic in there. I've already added the butter. I put maybe a half a teaspoon or a quarter teaspoon of garlic. It depends on how much you like garlic. I like garlic. So and as you can see, I have it all in my pan there, and so then I'm going to cook that meat and get that all ready before I add anything else. Now, I have added a whole tomato that I diced up. You could use a canned tomato if you would rather have it that way. I had some tomatoes that I went to the community perishable food giveaway, and that's actually where I got the cabbage at as well. So I add that tomato in there and let that cook up a little bit. And while it's cooking, I'm chopping up my cabbage. I used about a cup of chopped cabbage. And as you can see, once that is all cooked in there, just cook that cabbage until it is soft enough to chew. Don't overcook your cabbage because it'll get real I'm not even sure what the word you use for it is, but cook it to the consistency you like. I cook it for maybe 10 minutes after I add the cabbage in there, and I do put a lid on that while it's cooking. So now that I have my meat mixture made, then I'm going to take another pan and I'm going to melt a little bit of butter in there, and I add a quarter a cup of rice. I'm using plain white rice. That's your preference. As you can see, I put a little bit more green onion in there because I like green onion. I also put a little bit of garlic in there. I put some salt in there. I do not add pepper to anything until after I'm finished cooking because a lot of people in my family don't like pepper. This is with a pint of chicken broth. Now, again, you might want to use a can. If you're running used canned, that's about equal to 1 can. What you see floating on top there is because when I'm using my canned chicken broth, it also has the fat that you get off of it that settles into the chicken broth. That's nothing extra there. It just kind of cooks in. So I cook my rice with that chicken broth in there. The reason why I saute my rice first is I think it gives it a better flavor. Now, you may not want to do that, but I think it gives it a better flavor. So I'll saute it until it's just starting to brown and then add my chicken broth. Bring it to a boil and cut it back so, it just simmers. Put a lid on it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes till you get the consistency of rice that you like. I don't want it sticky. I want a good, smooth flavor for rice. So that's what I do with mine. Now, once I have my rice ready, I just put a little bit in a bowl and added a spoonful of my cabbage and chorizo mixture on top. And that's it. That is the whole meal. So, I have a little bit of tortilla chips with it. I just like to scoop it up. I use the scoops ones to eat with it. It doesn't have to have anything else with it, but that's the way I like it, so that's the way I serve it. Now, some people like to put a little bit of cheese in it. It's good with cheese in it too. So there you have it. There's my recipe for the day. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. And I hope you come back to the page. So as always, you can email me at learntodosurveys@gmail.com. Check out my book on Amazon, How to Fertilize Your Budget. If you enjoy the videos, subscribe to the page, come back and see me again. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.